Welcome to the JusTalks podcast. I'm Justin Neely. Co-hosting with me is my guy Jason.
What up?
And today we got two very special guests. First one, part of the UAlbany men's basketball team, all the way from Poland, my guy Kacper Klaczek.
How you doing, guys?
And our second special guest from Red Hook, New York, student manager for the Great Danes basketball team.
The one and only.
The one and only Gavin Hayes. Welcome to the show, my guy.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
All right, so the first segment we have here is obviously the biggest game of the season when it comes to like the crowd we attract, Albany Cup against Siena. This is a tradition that's been on since like the 50s. Now, a very interesting thing is we see a big difference in the Siena administration here. We have Jerry McNamara as their first-year head coach from Cuse. Now, he was under the Boeheim administration, and he left when Boeheim left. And he also played as a player there. He won the championship with Melo. His numbers actually retired, so he was a pretty good player. Now, when looking at this game, obviously the biggest factors in is you got to stay out of foul trouble. That's something you had in the first two games. And then a big problem also is they're a very aggressive team, Siena. We've seen it in the first two games they played. They had a big win at Bryant. They beat at Bryant, and then they won at Brown. So those were two big wins going into this one. Now, a big thing is the reason why I think you guys won this game was points in the paint. I mean, you guys absolutely dominated that paint, scoring 40 points in the paint, moving them to 20.
Yeah, I think we did a great job. I mean, starting off with our big man, Sully, Big Bully. I mean, he did a great job getting their five-man. Coyle in foul trouble. Right? Carey, excuse me. Our big man Sully did a great job getting their big man Carey in foul trouble quick. You know, first 4 minutes, he already had two fouls. So, you know, Siena had to rely on their bench who, you know, weren't as talented as he was. So, you know, obviously gave us mismatches and opportunities to attack.
For sure.
Yeah, Coyle was my player to watch in that game, and he was shooting 30%. So you guys absolutely stopped him, just like in Army when you absolutely shut down Rucker. I mean, he was a guy that, you know, you had on your list of players to watch, was a non-factor. Even Curry really wasn't anything special. So, I mean, it seems like whenever there's like a big guy that you guys have to shut down, you guys have been able to handle it. Now, and shooting-wise, I mean, by no means was this a shooting contest, especially in the American East. But, I mean, at the end of the day, it doesn't matter if you outshoot, as long as you outshoot the team, it doesn't matter how good you shoot. And you guys absolutely beat them in three-point percentage and field goal percentage. And that's really what determined the win. It was great defense, which, I mean, you know, from watching the team last year, this is not a game that I expected. I expected this to be like 89 to 84. So seeing a 60-70 game was very refreshing to see.
Absolutely. What did you think?
Well, that was interesting analysis of the game. I mean, for me, the biggest thing was probably we came out a little bit tougher than we usually do. I know they were like hyping themselves up as the tougher team and like how gritty they are, you know, all the 50-50 balls, all the like defensive, offensive rebounds. So I think we took the challenge, you know. We got a couple of them offensive rebounds and points in the paint going from the start. Like you said, we got to the free throw line a lot. The post game was really good for us. If it was you, the more I didn't really like. I was more front of the basketball, but the straight line drives, like I feel like just going straight to the hoop. Like I didn't even shoot a three the whole game. You know, I felt like the game is in the paint, and we took it to them. We did pretty well. Definitely Coyle, great three-pointer shooter. Number 44, I don't remember his name, but yeah, he made two.
We're gonna leave that in there.
I don't know why.
I'll bring up why.
I mean, he's the ex-player or something.
Yeah.
But either way, that
man,
was surprising that he made
shout out to Marcus Jackson.
Yeah, that
man.
was actually surprising.
He played well though. I mean,
he
17 and 8.
That's a great game, but I didn't expect that from him. But
especially scoring wise.
Yeah,
the threes.
Sure. We actually were preparing a little bit, at least me in my mind, as like he's not that good of a shooter. He delivered, so shout out to him for sure. Whatever his name is.
That's crazy.
The double disc.
I'm so sorry.
Marcus Jackson.
Marcus Jackson. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Marcus Jackson. I'm sorry. My bad. But yeah, that was a great game. You know, at the end we got them. They are actually really well coached. I feel like after every timeout, after every stop of the game, they were coming up with some great offensive looks.
No, they definitely competed all the way through the end. It wasn't, I didn't feel like there was any chance where, extend the lead out to 20, 30, anything like that. So
yeah, it was very competitive. We had this one huge 3 by Byron. They missed one free throw, and really that was really the game because if they got one more stop or something, or we missed a couple more free throws, that it could be close. But it wasn't. So that's good.
Yeah, so it's important you brought that up about the coaching here because think about it. Coach Killing said himself that this is the best UAlbany team that we've had under his leadership. And that's important because last year we beat them by 30. So, you could tell the coaching difference by a mile. This game was a tough game. And, if we played the Siena team last year, that'd be like a 50-point game. They just got destroyed.
I don't really know how good was the Siena game last year.
It was.
We would have ran them out of it.
I heard a lot of people saying that the coach was better and stuff. But I would hold with the slander for the previous coach because first of all,
we're not talking about the coach. We're talking about the players.
Yeah, but he just said if they will be coached by the other guy, they will get their ass kicked. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they did.
That's what I'm saying. No, I'm just saying this was a tough game.
This team,
if you had last year's team, this wouldn't be a tough game.
Yeah.
Obviously every game you have to go into as a tough game, but I'm just saying that the rosters they had, just recruiting wise, I think him being from Syracuse, having the connections with Boeheim, able to steal a player from us. They were able to convince people. Siena, last year it was harder for them to recruit, and we saw that.
I feel like right now recruiting is all about how much money you got in NIL. So it's hard to say how much the coach can do, but he definitely, But you got to be careful with, what is it called, with overall in men's basketball and college level. Because you can get promised everything and it doesn't really have to work out, And so
that's how it goes, brother.
That's how it is actually. But I would say I'm curious how it looks from the back door. How do they actually getting all those players? You know what I'm saying?
With money.
That's what I'm saying. I'm actually curious how they get it.
Money.
I think the one kid though was D2. So they are getting creative. It's not like they're...
Well, look at our roster. We got
JUCO
guys.
But those were high level. Indian Hills is legit JUCO.
Yeah. JUCO's JUCO, brother.
There's some JUCOs where it's
oh, yeah, okay. Yeah. Okay. I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Well, you also have to remember also what class you are, When Damon went there, obviously, you went there coming out of high school. It's really hard to play D1 as a true freshman. That's why when AR was on the podcast, you were talking about the reason why it's a lot easier to win all rookie teams because you don't see a lot of rookies play in the American East.
Absolutely.
And like you said before, free throws absolutely win you guys the game. You guys shot 50% against Dartmouth, which was, a little scary. But then obviously here you shot 75% or higher.
Yeah, 19 for 24.
Yeah, which was huge because you didn't have the 3-point support that you had in the Dartmouth game. Dartmouth game, you pretty much just shot Dartmouth out. Yeah. That's how the game went.
We only had 8 threes.
How many?
Yeah.
3 for 8.
We had
3 for 8 from 3. Yeah.
Damn.
They shot decent from 3 though. They did pretty well from
35%.
Yeah.
Something like that. And we shot 37%. Threes isn't what determined the game. It was all about the paint.
Absolutely.
I thought it was rebounding, honestly.
Oh, rebounding as well. Yeah, rebounding as well. Points. I meant scoring wise. Points in the paint's what decided it. The only thing that did scare me was DeMar did get into foul trouble. Mm-hmm. And it's something that, we've seen this in every game UAlbany has played, that there's a player in foul trouble. And it's not something you want to see here. Because, and how short rosters are in college basketball and how this team also has been dealing with injuries of their own. AR's had his back problem and Amari Marshall with his finger. So you really don't want to get players in foul trouble because you need everybody you can have, especially with the injuries that this team has dealt with early on.
Absolutely.
How many injuries did you have?
None. And, Yeah, I mean, foul trouble. I mean, we definitely had that issue. I mean, you look at the Aniana game where they were shooting, one-on-one free throws in the first half with 10 minutes left, So
That
against
was
better
bad,
team.
yeah.
Yeah, against better teams, you're going to have to pay. So
We have a lot of players who can supply like different quality of basketball skill.
yeah,
Like,
we got
you know what I'm saying?
versatility.
We got some shooters, we got some like defenders, we got some like, for example, the more like super strong guys. I feel like we have some good combination. So like even the foul trouble wouldn't be hurting us as much, even though it did. For example, in Army, it definitely did hurt us. Yeah. I'm curious how it's gonna end up in the actual conference play, because that's when it's really
Yeah, it might look different, but who knows?
I mean, they should ref it a little bit differently.
Yeah,
Definitely
probably.
a little bit less fouls. It's funny.
It depends who we play, because they're gonna let us like be more physical against like more physical teams like Brian or
Yeah,
Vermont.
Brian's the first team I thought of.
Yeah,
That's gonna be a box.
Brian's gonna be
You know what's funny about fouls? The new rule about like when you're getting fouled, but if you make a layup, they not calling the foul.
If you
super
miss, then you
bizarre.
get it.
Like,
That's what
yeah.
happened in the game Saturday for me. The rest were like, if I made the layup, there's no call. If I miss it, then I'm getting a
But
foul.
like,
So
I
it's
ain't gonna
like,
lie, I got smacked in the face. I was expecting a call, so I just threw
Yeah.
this shit up. And I missed, and they didn't call it. I was like so disappointed.
yeah,
It's sometimes better to miss a shot, so they are in foul trouble. Like if you can make like free throws on a
Go
good
ahead.
clip.
All right, here is the time for the Just Talk top 3 players of the game. Now, third place is Kacper with 4 for 7 on shooting, very efficient shooter, 4 boards, and I mean, it's not just about the points he had, but how efficient he was on the court.
absolutely. No
And-
turnovers, big time offensive rebounds, defensive stops. No, he played a good game.
Well deserved. Second spot here goes to a very, very, very common player in this award, Byron Joshua, and it wasn't because he was an efficient shooter. It was because of the hustle he had with 7 rebounds. I mean, at 5'10", getting 7 rebounds in itself, especially as an aggressive team like Siena, is impressive in itself. Puts 11 points on top of that.
Yeah, I'm gonna give him that for the 3. The 3 was huge.
That
Yeah,
really was
I
huge.
would
Yeah.
say everything else, like
Yeah.
but the 3 really won us the game.
Nah, he did a good job
Yeah.
rebounding. crashing
That
glass,
was
loose
huge.
balls.
That was
yeah.
huge.
Was it offensive or defensive work?
1 offensive, 6 defensive rebounds. But
It's 6
nah.
defensive.
Yeah, no. He played.
He became
played
a
very
big, big rebounding because, like, at the end of the day, when the people he was getting rebounds against had the height advantage every time.
well. Absolutely.
So,
It's all hustle.
the hustle he had that game was what we needed because of someone like Marcus Jackson, who's known for his hustle. So it was nice for someone to match that. And of course, for the second week in a row, the Just Talk player of the game is Justin Neely.
21
points, 8 rebounds.
Gavin, what do you have to say
66%
about
shooting.
our Just Talks number 1?
I can't say anything. You played a great game.
Thank you.
No, like
I told you
we
I was
agree,
proud.
but it
Okay.
just feels like the Obama meme. The all medals.
Right,
Like,
right.
I will say to him though, it was this week wasn't as close as last week. Last week there was a very strong argument
Yeah.
for Kanai
For
getting
Kanai.
that one
I
spot.
thought Kanai Briggs definitely deserved
Wait,
it for
so-
19 and 7.
But you got it.
No, he does it.
Yeah.
My hands are clean.
A little biased.
It's for him, and you can listen to ESPN Progress. They agree with me as well. For the Dartmouth game, it was really about how much of a two-way true player you were.
Okay,
I
so
mean-
if he
Because I
didn't
can
make
guard,
this-
right, Gavin?
If he wasn't making,
Yes,
this
you can
podcast,
guard, Justin.
Would you make the same?
No,
Why?
yes,
You shouldn't
yes,
need my
because
validation.
I just needed to hear it.
Okay.
Kanai did an amazing job shooting, right? But I mean, if you watch that game again, I mean, you lived it, so maybe you'll remember it. The steals he was getting on defense absolutely changed the direction of the game. I mean, it was. I'm just saying.
No,
if
okay,
he
I
wasn't-
agree. I agree.
If
I
he
just-
wasn't
I'm just playing with
playing
you.
the defense he was, obviously it's great that you guys outshot them and shot them out of the game, but that's not how it started. That game was close for a while, And
That was a pretty big game. I ain't gonna lie.
You could have gave it to like 3 people though.
Great one.
Like that
Yeah,
was a toss.
Byron-
we did give it to
Byron-
3 people. It was Byron.
No, I'm saying the
and
number one.
Oh,
spot,
the
though.
number one. Yeah.
Hey, that-
You can give it to Byron every week.
Yeah.
Consistent.
Yeah. No, I mean, he's the most consistent.
he's
on
the most
list right now.
consistent, but I
Yeah.
think Justin deserved it this week.
I agree.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure this week. I agree.
Whoa! The shade for this week.
Hater guy.
Here it comes. His true words are coming out.
You got something to say about the Dartmouth game?
It's in his
Mr.
heart.
Hayes.
It's in his heart.
You played well in Dartmouth.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Okay, but there comes the but.
I feel like there's a
No, there
but
is no
followed
but.
by
There
a
is no
next
but.
but.
There's no
Yeah.
Oh, my only point, you could have given it to a lot of people.
Okay. All right. I love that take. On to the next one.
And like I said in the Dartmouth game, my only problem was that first half with fouls. I mean, in the first 10 minutes, they were at the free throw line.
Right.
So, but you cleaned it up this game, which I'm very proud of. And going into Puerto Rico that's what I want. I don't want to see them in the bonus with more than 10 minutes in the first half. That's gonna be a very big factor. Now talking about the Puerto Rico trip, I think a big game that we see now is the American game. We saw a previous opponent play American already, and we saw how that game went. Now, my question for you two is, what are your thoughts going into the 3-game tournament?
I think it's going to be great for us. I mean, 3 games in 3 days. It's going to be a big challenge. And then our last day being that American game. Very talented team, good guards, solid guards, big man. Their 5-man's really good. I think it's going to be a great challenge for us, and guys are going to have to show up. So I think we're going to need everybody for this trip. It's going to be, one of those situations where everybody has to contribute for us to, leave 3-0. So
my biggest question is, how is the game going to be won? Do you think it's going to be points in the paint? Do you think it's going to be out shooting them? It's going to be great defense? What is going to be the X factor, do you think, going into these games?
Well, I think you got to look at every single game differently. But for us, probably it's gonna be just being consistent with our effort and the way we approach the games. We need to get some of our shots up. Like we just need to shoot more threes to be more reliable. Our defense definitely can be cleaner. But we can probably just straight up when in like a regular game, we don't really have to invent anything new. Like you see, American lost to Siena. We won against Siena. So there is that. We definitely not going to have those fans. That was definitely a big deal for us. But I think we still can get it done. I mean, we're going to be in Puerto Rico, so it's definitely going to be a little bit exciting. Yeah. So a little bit more energy than usual. But, it's just like, I feel like we have to clean up the defense. Later, better basketball movement. Like, we just, like, our basketball wasn't moving much. And that, like, reflects in our assists. So we got to get it up. Our shots going to start falling because we're going to have more wide open looks, more paint threes. I mean, we drive to paint, kick it out, get it 3. Later, keep crashing offensive boards and to keep being dominant in the paint.
Yeah, show up ready to play.
Something I'm very interesting about when I'm watching you guys play this year is, there's not many assists going around. I mean, you had 5 against Siena, and it's usually around that kind of mark. So it's interesting you brought up the ball movement, because it seems like, with this UAlbany team, it's less of setting up people for shots and then making their own shots and I mean, obviously with Justin, his package in the post. So it seems like instead of you guys are looking at each
You have
other.
something to say, Gavin?
No, but
Okay.
it wasn't an assist that got me the
I feel like
points.
Gavin's a great addition to this podcast because he'd be going off how great you are, and Gavin just gotta be looking like.
Yeah, I mean,
I
think
I'm not hating, by the way.
I think
It's
like
hilarious.
with this.
No, but he created his own shots. I don't want.
No, you're 100% right. Like his post ups, and overall, like we do getting buckets. Like
I think we have talented guys who can just make plays. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, the low assist number also comes from guys missing shots. You know what I'm saying?
and layups.
Yeah, like a
Yeah,
lot of missed layups. Like, I mean, in the game against Siena, we shot 8 threes. So the other 50 whatever shots that we took were like in the paint. You know what I'm saying? We're not a mid-range shooting team.
No.
So the ones we're missing are like layups,
Exactly,
contested
yeah.
layups around the rim. So, that'd rack up our assist total a lot more.
Definitely, yeah. I think that's a big thing is, when we see you guys play, it's just, you're going in for those layups, and because you're not much of a mid-range team, like you said, it's just the assist is hard to come by. Now, my question for you, is that going to make it easier for a team going forward to be able to strategize against you guys? Because if they know you're just going to go from one side of the court all the way down, because you don't shoot a lot of threes, I feel like it might be easier for them to either how they're going to program their defense.
I mean, I think that we are a capable 3-point shooting team. Like, we could be a very good 3-point shooting team, but I mean, the games that we've had, our success has been playing inside out. You know what I'm saying? So that's just kind of how
I feel like it's definitely gonna be problem somewhere along the road.
I wouldn't say it's a problem.
No,
I think
it
it's
will
like
be problem. What I'm saying is like
adjustment.
it's a long season. Like at the end of a season, everybody has a scout. You know how it looks like. Everybody has a scout on everybody. So it definitely we're gonna have to find out like new ways to get our shots up.
Yeah, I mean,
it's also still early too.
That's
Yeah,
When it comes to
the
the
4
assists,
games
like,
in,
there's a
yeah.
level of continuity you guys haven't reached yet. Like, it'll come.
No, for
For
sure.
sure.
Yeah. Damn, that was a good take. One of your better ones.
I'm not too bad.
It's mostly because most of them are really bad.
Okay, so what you guys are saying, we should expect more threes coming to the future.
Absolutely.
sure.
Awesome. All right, now next thing we're talking about here is the AP 25. It seems like every week the top team just changes. Now, there's a lot of rumors that Kentucky's the team to beat. Last week it was Auburn. Obviously, for me, seeing Rutgers at the 24 spot, I'm a little upset about. I think that they should at least be a top 15 team with. Now they finally got Ace Bailey back, and they played against Monmouth, and we see how good he is. And Dylan Harper may be the number 1 pick for how he's been playing. So I guess they're playing on experience because they don't have a lot of experience together. They're still kind of knocking them. So, you know what? I guess I have to accept that. But what do you guys think about the top 25?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, Ace Bailey being back definitely adds to them. I think a sleeper team on is Cincinnati at 18. I mean, Jizzle James has been playing amazing. Shout out to him, by the way, Florida kid. And my other guy, Dylan Mitchell, over there at Cincinnati. But no, they're a team to watch. I think Texas A&M still, they're on the back, and I think it was like 22 or 23, I believe, that they're at. But
they had a big win, too.
Yeah, absolutely. And their loss was at UCF. It was a big win for UCF, by the way. But I think they're definitely a team to watch moving forward this season.
Yeah, A&M, and you don't really see A&M for basketball, so it's definitely new, and it's interesting. Like, we know the reason, NIL being brought into the space. We've seen a lot of new programs, especially in the SEC, start building programs out of nowhere. The SEC was never the top conference in basketball. It was always an ACC-driven league, and I don't know if it's too early to say, but ACC's been slipping. We saw Duke lose recently, and we've seen, obviously, North Carolina is at the same team they were when they went to the national championship. So it's really we're starting to see a more balanced college basketball field here. Between the SEC, the ACC, and the Big East, it just seems like they're just one conference with kind of skill level. It doesn't seem like one's better than the other at this point.
You also can't count out the Big 12. A lot of talent in that league as well. Also, another team noted is St. John's.
Yo,
4-0
let's go
right
Johnnies, baby. Oh, they beat Rutgers, and the transfers the Johnnies have gotten has been awesome. They've been passing around between them and Seton Hall. They've been just passing around players. It's just,
But we see it hasn't been working out in Seton Hall's favor.
Oh, no. That's what I'm saying. Obviously, they got Wusu from St. John's, but the exchange for the Johnnies have been awesome. Once they've been ran through, we send them to St. Hall. Once they're in their prime, they come to the Johnnies.
Right.
And let's be honest here. The Johnnies look great this year. Beating Rutgers with Ace Bailey and Ace Bailey and Dylan Harper playing. This was the top you've seen Rutgers play. And don't even get me started. Rick Pitino, you know, what he's done with Iona. We've seen Iona fall off a cliff recently after he left. You know, you've seen the impact he's had. And it just seems like the Big East with Marquette, UConn, and the Johnnies, it seems like this is back to the Big East, back in like the early 2000s when you had Kemba's UConn, Shabazz Napier, and, you know, it's fun to see. And I think you're right. I think we're going to see the Johnnies really make a good run this year. And I think,
absolutely. They got a big one against Baylor coming up too.
Yeah. I mean, Jeremy Roach, you know, obviously Duke transfer for there. And I mean, it just seems like the Johnnies, every time they're tested, they've been able to pull through. Unfortunately, like we said on the last podcast, Villanova and Seton Hall have fallen off a cliff. So it just seems like besides those two teams, the Big East is going to be a tough conference to win in the tournament. So I'm making the statement very obviously. The Big East will have multiple bids outside of the tournament winner.
Oh, absolutely.
What number is Tennessee? 11, something like that.
11.
Yeah, this is probably only team that I've been watching like more from the whole AP ball. Yeah, my boy Igor Milicic plays over there, so that's why I've been following them. They're actually pretty good. I think they're gonna be decent this year.
You think it's better? I think their last year's team was better with Dalton Connect. I don't know if they're gonna be able to respond.
I think NCAA just a little bit worse than last year, as a whole.
This might be a hot take, but I think they're gonna get eaten by the SEC.
You know, you got to think
I
about
think
it.
Bama's a better team
as a whole league, because like people losing the COVID year, so we don't really have as many fifth to sixth years. So
I thought though the Kentucky Duke game, I thought that was good for college basketball. Just having like a tough close game like that.
That was definitely a great game
because it does feel like sometimes it's a little bit on a lull. You know what I mean?
The
Like
Gonzaga game will tell you that. It was like a 40-point blowout. It's supposed to be a close game. So, I mean, but with you bringing up Tennessee, I'm sorry. I think they're going to fall off this top 25. It's just the SEC is way too competitive. You have Bama, who's better, Arkansas, Kentucky,
Texas A&M, Auburn.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even have them in the top 5. And I don't think they're even top 5, arguably.
They're probably like top 10 to top 15. But
yeah, top 10, top 15 in the conference.
I think once conference play comes, it's going to be a different. It's going to be a different top 25.
I mean, they're definitely going to get a large bid, probably. So it doesn't really matter that much as long as they're going to be like.
They're not going to get 15 bids, though.
Yeah,
they're not going to get 10 bids.
But what I'm saying is like, but they're not like, they're like top probably like on the 5th in the conference.
I don't think they're top 5. I don't think they're top 5.
At worst.
No, they're not top 5. Auburn's better. Kentucky's better. Bama's better. Kentucky's better.
Houston's better.
I like Houston.
I wasn't even going to mention them, but and then obviously, wait, I'm sorry, I'm going to say again. Bama, Kentucky,
Duke.
Wait, I was talking about SEC.
Oh, SEC. Okay.
I'm 5 SEC better.
Okay.
I was going to say Auburn, Kentucky, Arkansas,
Texas
A&M. And there's one more I'm missing. That's been great.
I wouldn't say Texas A&M.
Yeah,
I wouldn't say.
They can't. They've been playing
You'd probably did you watch a
man.
Tennessee game though? Like realistically, you didn't, and you just
Texas
You might have. I feel like you got some bias because your boys.
I do have bias, but he has the other way bias. That shit.
Also have Florida, SEC as well.
I'm sorry, because there's one SEC team I'm missing, and it's just blanking. Obviously,
I think
any other
Tennessee's
scenario,
in that pack though. Like they're not.
No, they're a good team.
They're a
not
good team.
Bad team.
No, they're not bad. It's just college basketball is very different now.
They might be better than A&M right now.
They definitely are.
I think they're above them in the AP poll, aren't they?
Yeah, they are because Texas A&M lost to UCF. That was their first game.
UCF. That is a funny team.
Yeah, but they just beat Ohio State, Ohio State beat Texas, and Texas is awesome.
Yeah.
So I mean, all right,
UCF
you know what?
It's not supposed to make sense. It's still early.
It is still early.
Yeah, I mean,
Tennessee has a chance, but right now I just don't think they're top 5 with the games they've played. I mean, it's not really their fault, but the difficulty of their schedule is the best part of the schedule they'll face. We've seen Texas A&M have a tough start. Same with Bama. So that's really where it gets tricky. And I mean, I'm just saying my predictions here. So maybe Tennessee gets the 5th or 6th spot, but I mean, you don't want to be in the SEC right now when it comes to college basketball. It's going to be tough to get a bid. All right. Any other problems with the list here? All right. Okay, I have a big. All right, so this is something I want to see you guys' take on here because Kyan Anthony has committed to Syracuse, which obviously is because of his father, Kacper Anthony, who won a national championship with Boeheim and Cuse. Now, my problem is I think Cuse is awful. I think they are the bottom of the barrel in the ACC. And I can't wait for you guys to play them because I just think they're awful. No, I really don't like this new coach.
They're still a good program, though. They're a good program.
This year, I think they're going to go through some tough time this year, and they're going to have to rebuild. I really think. I mean, what Kentucky has done this year with Pope is unheard of. You've never seen a team go through a huge coach, have him leave, and then just be dominant right after. Usually, there's some growing pains when you have a new coach come in and a whole new recruiting class. So that's where I think Syracuse is going to struggle here. I mean, Boeheim's been there forever. Boeheim is Syracuse. They go hand in hand, so, and I mean, we've seen them, with this season with struggling. So I think it's going to be tough for Syracuse to be able to have the same Syracuse that we're used to seeing. So
yeah, I don't think he's gonna go there and bring him to national championship
that's what I'm
level.
saying.
I mean, I don't know national championship, but so like he a Lehigh guy, so that's my high school. So
shout out Lehigh.
But yeah, I might be again biased a little bit, but I think he's gonna be great. The very underrated part is you can't really put a price on like mental comfort. He's
because he's been used to the
he's from like
Syracuse.
New York.
Yeah.
He probably lived most of his life in New York. His pops has an amazing legacy out there.
Mm-hmm.
He gonna come in and he have an amazing spot with people who like.
I liked it because when Melo went to Cuse, they were at a down point, and they're not the best they've been.
So you're saying he's gonna do what Carmelo did for Syracuse?
I'm saying that I like it. I'm not saying that's what's going to happen.
Okay.
I like the timing of it.
I was waiting for a terrible Gavin take.
No.
You saved it.
I don't know how I feel about the take because I wouldn't say he saved Syracuse. Obviously, they weren't national ship contenders,
Right.
but they were. I mean, that's when they were in the Big East. I mean, they were still a top contender in the Big East every year. In the early 2000s. I mean, that was probably the prime of Jim Boeheim. So obviously he brought him a national championship, but I think that if somehow Kyan Anthony brought a national championship to this Syracuse team, I think it would be miles above what Carmelo Anthony did. Miles.
Yeah. 100%,
I mean, it's this is just. I mean, think about it.
Cuse has some guys. They got some guys. Cuse.
But they're not Duke. They're not North Carolina.
They're in the ACC. They're not. They're gonna finish bottom of the.
That's what I'm saying. Is they're bottom of the barrel.
I'm being a homer right now too.
Well, depends on our game with them.
New York
our takes my age really badly, so I'm not gonna give no takes about this here. We're gonna see after the game.
I wouldn't if I was you guys.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
I'm not worried about it. I'm not sold. I saw them play against Lemoyne. Shout out my boy Will Amika. And
wait, Amika's at Lemoyne?
Yeah.
Good for him.
Yeah. I wasn't really sold on what I saw from Syracuse.
That's exactly where my takes have been coming from because I'm sorry for cutting you off.
There you go.
Let me finish real quick. So that's exactly why I'm not impressed with Syracuse's seasons because we thought Lemoyne was better than they were when we saw a Syracuse game, and then we just saw them play UConn and get absolutely
got them crushed,
smacked.
Yeah.
So it was really. Now looking at it, it was how bad Syracuse was more than how good Lemoyne really is. So because of that, that's why I'm scared with this Syracuse team because it seems like no matter who plays them, it's not a guaranteed win. And if you're an ACC team playing non-Power 5 teams, it should be easy wins and it should be no discussion about it. So I think because of that, they're in the bottom of the barrel, as we saw with Seton Hall, who has lost to, what American East team? They lost to
an AAC team.
Hold on.
No, they lost to Fordham. All right, Fordham beat. Yeah. So Fordham A10 beat.
Fordham's a good program.
Fordham and Hofstra.
Well, I'll say what I was going to say.
Questionable.
So Fordham beat Seton Hall, which obviously A10 also is in Power 5. So when you see these, and Seton Hall was much better last year and they showed it when they beat Albany by like 30 or 40 points. So no, but just comparing those two teams together, we're seeing that when you're really struggling against non-Power 5 teams, it shows in the conference rankings.
Absolutely.
So Seton Hall, Syracuse I'm saying it 100% faith, will be bottom of their conferences. And you brought up it's because how strong the ACC is. That's not true. Syracuse would be bottom of the SEC, the ACC, and they'd be bottom of the Big East. That's my take.
Can I ask you a question?
That's a fair take, honestly. With
I don't know,
SEC, ACC.
How do you think they do in the AEC?
I agree with that.
Sorry, what's
How do you think they do in the AEC? Qs.
The AEC?
American.
Oh, I never call it the AEC. Usually it's the
It is the
AE.
AEC.
Yeah.
Yeah,
American
AEC.
How do you think they do here?
Honestly,
Great.
Syracuse?
Yeah.
Great.
I think it'd
Middle
be
of the
top
pack.
3. I think top 3. No, I think top 3.
That would be great.
Great Danes, Vermont.
No, Vermont are frauds. Here. That's what they're called. Fraud. They lost to Merrimack. They lost
They
to,
did lose to Merrimack, yeah.
They lost to another
beginning
team.
of the
What's
season.
the other freaking team that sucks?
Let me
It was
check right
obviously
now.
Auburn.
Punched in the face by Auburn.
Yeah, that doesn't. We're
That
not.
was
We're not gonna.
expected, yeah.
We're not gonna call it that because you guys in Auburn would be very tough to beat. I think you can agree Auburn would be a tough team to beat.
We could talk about it.
No, I'm not saying you would lose, but I'm saying it would be a tough game to beat.
I like that,
Absolutely.
Justin. I like that, Justin.
They lost to Iona.
Yeah, no.
Right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Iona. So they lost to Iona this is the worst we've ever seen Iona. They lost to Merrimack and they got blown out by Merrimack.
I think they're a little bit better than last year. I don't know. It's pretty bad last
14.
year.
I think they're bad since Patino left, but we'll see. So I'm just saying I'm very unimpressed with what Vermont has shown. You know, they're 1-3 start. Obviously, they haven't played any conference games, so we can't judge them too much. But I am throwing in an early fraud flag, and I think I'm not going to say who's going to win the American East, but I will say
Well,
I
we know
do
who's
not
gonna win the
see.
American East.
You could probably tell who's gonna win.
We know who's going to win the American East. But
I don't want to seem biased here, but
do.
I will say that I am predicting 100%. Roll the clip back if I'm wrong. Vermont will not win the American East, and the 10-year decade reign is over. They are over. TJ Long, I'm sorry, but your reign is over.
Did they really win 10 in a row?
I think they got 8 right now.
Oh, they beat us 10 years in a row.
Yeah, they beat us. Yeah.
Sorry, I get confused.
Yeah.
All right. Their
Well, that was
8-year
the last
reign of
year,
winning the
last year.
tournament is over, and the 10-year decade of the Great Dane wins are over. I mean, you know, this Vermont team is so unimpressive. I can't even watch them anymore.
They could get it together though. Like it's week
Could
4.
they?
Like,
Yeah.
I'm just trying to be reasonable.
Possibly, but I'm not sold.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So I wouldn't have them 3 out of Syracuse above them.
Right.
So I would have
Danes,
I'd have Danes, I'd have Bryant,
Bryant,
and then I have Syracuse.
then Vermont.
Yeah. I think you
I don't
have
like
You
the-
think-
I don't
you
like
put
Bryant
UMass
'cause they
low.
lost
I-
to Siena.
4.
What about Maine?
Maine,
What?
I don't care about
No,
Maine. Who's
no,
watching
we're not-
Maine
no one's worried
basketball?
about
I feel like
You guys are bugging.
Might as well throw New Hampshire and JIT
Yeah,
up
Maine-
there. New
Maine's-
Hampshire.
yeah,
it's a pretty good match. I just watched
No,
the first half of
it's
NJIT. I don't know.
They've actually, fun fact, they've never won the American East ever in the
NJIT
entire
or
program.
Maine?
NJIT. Since they've been around, they've never made the tournament.
Yeah.
So they're just, I don't even know why. Honestly, they should get D2. They really should.
Nah, stop it.
20 years of not winning, not even more than 20. Their program history, they have not won once. That you got to get demoted. It's not competitive. You got to win once in your program history, right?
It's not competitive.
Well,
I mean, they finished bottom of the pack.
Every year, every single year, and I
Finish at
think
the
they
bottom
beat
every
you
year.
guys once.
Yeah, beat us one time in 4
And now,
years.
yeah, exactly. It just seems like they show up and they're just like, we're gonna get destroyed and we're gonna leave. It's just the vibes are not there in NJIT. So
they beat you guys 2 years ago.
Yeah, I think so. I think we lost to them at NJT.
I like
2
that,
years
Kacper.
ago,
That
yeah.
was the year we beat them really badly.
we're gonna be talking about that later.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I wasn't
yeah,
there,
we're gonna
so.
talk about 2 games that you played against former teammates. But yeah, all right. So I think that might be it. We're done talking about Keys.
Yeah.
Keys is done. All right.
Nah, I'm excited for the game, to be completely honest.
So, yeah, I mean, playing in the JMA Dome is gonna be awesome. I can't wait to go
That's
there.
wild.
It's a
I feel
weird.
like it's gonna feel like outside.
Yeah, that's what I don't like about the JMA.
No, I love it.
It's-
I'm excited for that. I've never seen this shit.
I just don't like how it's so big for like you have the basketball arena and it's made for a football stadium because they also play football there. So it's just a lot of empty space, which is very weird to think about. It seems more like a sports complex than an actual arena.
No, I see what you're
So
saying.
I think that like atmosphere, I don't feel good about it because I mean
like hooping in the park.
that's what I'm saying. I don't think it's going to be as good of an atmosphere as it would be if it was an arena. It's definitely not going to be as good as the Albany Cup atmosphere. Shout out to you guys. That was awesome, especially with the dunk that Kacper had with like 6 seconds left.
Yeah, we got to play the clip.
Yeah, that was insane. The crowd went nuts after that dunk. I mean, you absolutely shattered the place. It's probably the loudest we've ever seen Albany, so it was awesome to see. Next thing I want to hear you guys talk about, obviously being D1 basketball players, is the NIL basketball tournament. So this is very cool to see how they're incorporating NIL into basketball tournaments. So how do you guys feel about this? And do you think that it's not right how it's not extended to non-Power 5 conferences?
I think this is the first year, so obviously they're going to start with, the bigger schools, bigger names. But no, I think this is great. I mean, each team that's in it, so let's, I believe it's 8 teams. Each school is getting $1 million just to participate. And then, the awards starting like, first through fourth place range from 1.5 to $1 million, which I mean, in NIL, which should be given to the players, I assume. Which is, it could be life changing for some guys, but I think it's incredible.
To me. I feel like it's great when it comes to like, the Power 5 conferences. You can only earn money if you bring the money in. So like,
that's the
I'm
problem.
gonna be honest with you. Like, would we be able to like bring that much money to, to actually, make a point of us having some NIL, compensation? I don't know. I don't know if this year. I know maybe at the end of the year that probably would change. But you have to have some power, some draw, some alumni who are willing to pay money.
Absolutely. I mean,
exactly.
That's huge. I mean, a school could leave this tournament with $3 million going towards their athletics and the basketball.
Yeah, but nobody gonna give you the money if you're not gonna bring the money for them.
Oh, absolutely. And it's
know,
in Las Vegas, so it's going down.
You're exactly right. That's the problem. We've seen it. Albany cannot bring the amount of money that we need them to bring. We saw it last year.
Competing the schools in the tournament: Alabama, Houston, Texas A&M, Oregon. Notre Dame. These are top tier schools. In Albany, we're not at that level just yet. But I think there's going to be more tournaments like this. I hope there is. Like moving forward, where mid-major schools will have the ability to gain NIL compensation for players.
Well, like I was gonna say, so last year the reason why it's clear we wouldn't be able to bring the money is because of when we were in the Barclays tournament. I don't know if you've seen, but when they had the St. John's game and the Miami game, there was a clear drop off when they had Albany play at 7, and the stadium wasn't packed. It was it wasn't anything close to the other 2 games. Obviously, St. John's is kind of biased, obviously, because they play in the Garden half the time. But the Miami-Colorado game, obviously 2 teams that would have to travel for fans, had a lot of people show up. So I think when it comes to getting these NIL deals for this mid-major conferences, at the end of the day, unfortunately, they don't care about the players. They care about the crowds the players could bring. And it's going to be hard for these mid-major conferences to really advance themselves, because even if Albany has a great year, the rest of the American East isn't going to have a great year. So the amount of people turning to American East games is very low. And especially, you have to remember, you guys only have 2 nationally televised games against Georgetown and Syracuse. So if I didn't go to Albany, I couldn't see you guys play. Like, it's very hard to watch a team on ESPN Plus because you really have to search for it. You're not going to just stumble on a team on ESPN Plus. So it's going to be hard for the American East to even be discovered. So I think the only way that this could NIL deals come for Albany and American East teams is if the top Power 5 conferences are making an extreme amount of NIL money per tournament, and then you guys would get something.
No, I think our way to get it is to beat. Like we have 2 games, we have 2 opportunities. If we're gonna win against them, we're gonna turn it.
But I don't think Vermont would even get an opportunity like this, and they've been dominating the American East for 8 years.
but like you don't. That's the thing. You got to get this amount of money. You got to beat the teams on this level. So like Vermont could be beating American East, so they're gonna get the American East coverage. But if you wanna like actually get the NIL in like millions, you have to beat San Diego. You got to beat
the chances that you get to play against these, nationally televised games and high major schools, you got to show up. Pretty
Now
much
with
is what
that-
he's
That's what it
saying.
is. Yeah, like right now we got Syracuse, we got Georgetown.
Yeah, like we win those
they
games.
are not like they are not top of the pack. That's our chance. You know what I'm saying? Like we can actually hit them. So like
I think it's too soon to say Georgetown's not top of the pack. Obviously, Big East competitive, but they're undefeated. So
Yeah,
I mean, you can't knock. I mean, they didn't play. I mean, Syracuse is also they won their games, but they played Lemoyne and struggled against. So that's where we're getting that from. But Georgetown, it's hard to really say that they're not going to be good this year.
I think it's too important. It's like important to remember though that these mid-major schools, a lot of the games that like they will make money from,
well, didn't they lose to Providence?
no, that was last year.
a lot of the mid-majors, like the way they'll make money is by going to these bigger schools early season. So that's kind of like their version of what this NIL thing is.
Mm-hmm.
It's let us get a few big games and then we'll go from there.
Absolutely.
That's like where we're at, kind of.
I think it's definitely something that's going to keep being built upon. And then you got to remember, too, next year, the schools are going to be able to pay players directly from money that they generate for the schools, like the Power 5 schools, like Miami, a Duke, bigger schools like that. They're going to be able to just pay players directly.
Yeah, I don't know how any of that
NIL.
stuff works.
Coming soon.
Sorry, what were you saying, Kacper?
This was last year. This is their games right now.
Well, yeah, they lost. Georgetown lost to
Notre Dame by
Notre
20.
Dame, which is Notre Dame's a really weird school because
my friend plays there. I watched one game. They decent. They not crazy. So what I'm saying is those schools are like
they're beatable.
obviously,
Yeah,
they
it's not
step
like
up,
UConn,
but like for the opportunity to play them on like national televised, they're definitely beatable. That's what I'm trying to say.
Oh yeah, I mean I think obviously I'm happy you guys aren't going against UConn. I'm happy you're not going against. I'm happy you're not going against Duke. Obviously,
maybe not in this
anyone could
moment
be
in the season. Maybe at the end of at the end of a year.
When it's tournament time, we'll be ready for anybody.
That's what I'm saying. Like at the end of the year, like I'm cool with anybody, but like right now we just need a couple games to figure our stuff out.
Well, you've played Georgetown pretty soon. That's the end of the month.
Yeah.
So pretty much
Next
it's
week.
the game right after you play after the tournament. So you're gonna have to be ready for that one. Now, my question for you guys is, what arena are you guys more excited to play in? I think it should be a clear, obvious one, but we'll see.
At Syracuse, definitely.
Really?
Super
I'm
excited
definitely
to play at Syracuse.
Washington Arena.
That's what I was going to say.
agree with that.
Capital
So
One
for me,
Arena.
it's
You're
personal.
playing where the
For me, it's
Wizards
personal.
play.
It's
the
personal, Kev?
Washington
Yeah,
Capitals.
because back in 2014, Marcin Gortat, Polish Hammer,
Yeah,
for
of course.
Washington Wizards. So he used to make the camp, like Marcin Gortat camp, like for a whole Poland. And after like you win the camp, like at the end of it, you had like skill challenge, and like I won that stuff. So and back in 2014, when I was like 12, I went to Washington to watch a game. So that was my first time in States. That was my first time seeing an NBA game.
That's dope.
So yeah, I was actually about to play there my freshman year, but I broke my face, so I didn't play.
I see.
So I'm really, really hyped about that.
It's a good
It's gonna be a good
story.
one.
Yeah,
That is
that's a
awesome.
dope story.
I mean, let's be honest here. Gortat is the greatest player in Poland history. I mean,
Yep.
he's definitely
far.
that number one.
He's
yeah,
got
by
his own
far.
screen. You have to do something to get your own screen.
What do you mean? Where?
Gortat screen.
Oh, Gortat's
Yeah.
screen.
Yeah, so but I will say, you like it, the JMA. I think they will have more fans because Syracuse, they have a good culture. They've always had a good culture. Georgetown, not so much. And my problem is when you see teams play in professional arenas, from my experience, it's harder to get a good atmosphere because you're playing in like it's not really yours.
Yeah.
We've seen this with St. Hall and Prudential. We've seen this obviously with MSG and St. John's, and we've even seen it with Siena at MVP Arena. It's not really theirs, so I think that does hurt them a little bit. But I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you're playing on history. You're playing, you know, I mean, unfortunately, Washington Wizards don't have much history. But the Washington,
they got some. They got some.
I mean, if
Wall and Beal, they had moments.
I mean,
they had moments.
Yeah, they were fun. They were fun.
Put them against any other franchise in the NBA.
Nene was entertaining.
You're really gonna.
I'm pulling for straws, but you know.
Yeah, the Washington Wizards are a failure of franchise, and I mean, it's
No,
them
they
and the
had
Hornets.
Gilbert. They had Gilbert too, though.
But what have they done? They won nothing. You know, they've never been a top team, and neither has the Hornets. I mean, let's be honest here. You're not comparing them to the Lakers or the Celtics
Or the Heat.
I would even compare them to the Suns, and the Suns haven't won a championship, but we've seen them make runs. You know,
Absolutely.
with Steve Nash and.
I mean, I would say they're more or less
Talking to the mic.
I'm so sorry. I would say more or less they're equal to Suns.
Really?
Yeah, because
What have they done?
I mean, think about it.
When
You
are you
have-
scared of the Wizards?
for last 20 years, they had LeBron in the conference, so they couldn't make it most of the time. Or like they had like really good teams. Like
The Suns made it with Jordan. The Suns made it with Jordan.
I mean,
they played Kobe.
yeah, that was a bad take. I'm not gonna lie.
Kobe and Steve Nash was a freaking rivalry.
Yeah, that's
You're telling
Suns over Wizards.
You saying Kobe's a scrub? Is he just it's Kobe. It's not LeBron. LeGlaze over here.
Don't start. You can't talk bad about Phoenix. You know.
No, but I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All right, put it this way. Have you guys ever been like, damn, they're playing the Wizards? No one's ever said that.
Nah,
They've said,
I don't
"Oh,
think
look."
anybody's ever thought of the Wizards as a threat.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The Suns never won anything, but they've been a threat. And even not so long ago in 2020, they went to the finals.
Okay.
And
okay, I'm taking back my take.
no, but I'm just saying, when's the last
Nah,
finals
you're right,
appearance the
you're
Wizards had?
No, 100%
Couldn't
right.
tell.
Might as well just say that the Trailblazers are a threat. You know, obviously they had Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, but they did nothing.
Yeah.
You know, they were first round exits every year. It's pretty
That's
much.
probably a fair.
Trailblazers were nice back in the day, though. They had
There
moments.
we Clyde Drexler. What has he? What has he done?
He's one of the greatest players of all time. Quite.
Yeah, but it's at the end of the day, it's because of his individual achievements. He's done nothing as a team. It's like saying Charles Barkley has a lot of team accomplishments. He's done nothing
Yeah, I
too.
just realized I was really biased because like I started watching basketball in like 2012.
That's
just my take.
Yeah, another thing I gotta say before I end this conversation is like, you know, with the Trailblazers, the Wizards, these are teams that once they got to the playoffs already booked their Cancun trip. They were not ready for the next round. They already had their hotel booked. They would have had to call reservations and cancel.
We
them.
could say that about the Cavs, though.
The Cavs.
The Cavs. They
In
with
recent years.
LeBron?
No. In recent years.
In recent
They just made it to-
2017
yeah.
with LeBron.
No. I'm saying like the Donovan Mitchell Cavs.
But
They're still a good team. But they always have early exits.
All right. If
Well,
the
they
Cavs-
had
if the
injuries.
Cavs-
Well, last season they had injuries, but I think they could have. They were really good.
You know what was
last
crazy?
Eh,
Remember they
I
put
don't
them
know
on
how I
a
feel about that.
conference finals. team.
They were a good team. They weren't contenders. But what I will say is, if the Cavs started last year, they wouldn't be a good franchise.
No.
But you're forgetting about the history they had with LeBron, and that's what created.
No,
their
I'm just saying
history.
within like the past few years, like you can
But
make the same
that's
argument.
not what values a franchise. I mean, if you call about the Lakers in the
I
last few
didn't,
years,
I didn't
the
know we
Lak-
were talking about the historical significance of the franchises.
Well, that's what a franchise is valued on.
Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
Not really.
then it's like the
you don't
Knicks
think
and the
so?
Lakers.
You don't
and
think the Bulls are
conversation's
still
over.
riding off of the Jordan era right now?
Yeah, they
The
definitely
Bulls are
but-
worthless right now if you're talking about the Bulls the last 10, 20 years.
No, but like,
No, they haven't been anything.
That's
since
what I'm saying.
Jordan
But
was
because of the
there.
Jordan era, that's what's valued. That's why they're
Because
selling.
they are-
I think we're forgetting these are all NBA teams. Like they have the best players in the world in them.
Well, I'm not saying they're
That's not
bad
about that.
players.
No,
I'm
they've
just
had great
saying-
That's not a
players,
bad
but
take. Like
we're talking about
Yeah,
like
but that's not what we're talking
championships
about.
and
Well,
deep runs in the playoffs.
No, but my
You know what I'm
perspective
saying?
is like I could put the Hornets versus the Wizards on like a Tuesday night and I could enjoy it.
Well, we're
Nobody
not-
wants to watch that.
Yeah,
though.
no, wait a
like
second.
that's not like.
But these
Yo,
are they're still the
yo,
greatest
the
players in the world.
Hornets and the Wizards are playing. You want to go see that? Tickets are like $8.
Well, here's-
Exactly.
Like, yeah,
Bring the
like,
family.
Just-
Have a
just
time.
'cause I
Like, and
grew
no,
up
you're
in
right.
Poland,
They're
I would
great
100% go, but that's because I.
Yeah, that's not fair to ask him because
Yeah,
he's,
biased. But I'm saying like,
but like you get
there's,
what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying. No, there's great players on the team, and they've had like players like through history. But we're talking about like success, like deep runs in the playoffs.
Put it this way.
You know,
This is the easiest way to
But
prove
it's
it.
very relative.
How many primetime games do you see the Hornets or Wizards have?
None.
Exactly. And the Suns have a ton, and they're a
that's-
small market program. They have no market. Phoenix has no market.
No,
in sports.
the Suns have Kevin Durant though, and Devin. Like,
But
it's
that's
not.
That's
they
what
made
we're
a
talking
finals
about,
run,
that, like, that's the
and they
run
have a
like that.
value franchise.
I get what you're saying. I'm just saying
If,
there is value in every team in the league. That's all I'm saying.
that's like saying okay, because,
that's like
no,
you're kind of just poo-pooing on these like NBA guys.
All
Like,
right.
they're-
technically.
You know what, guys?
Yeah, like-
you know Albany's gonna go against the Washington Wizards next week.
Yeah.
And because they'll
we have
probably
value.
win- yeah, it's like saying, oh, Albany's better than the Albany High School. You know, if they
Yeah.
beat the Albany High School team, oh, you know, they won. They're great. You know, all right.
I think you understand where I'm coming from. on
No,
this.
I don't.
I don't understand what the argument
can't
is though.
compare an NBA team to the regular person walking down the street.
I didn't do that
All right, so why do the Washington Wizards have value?
because they have a roster of NBA players.
But obviously, I have NBA players. What are you talking about?
Like there's something going on there that matters.
So by your definition, that doesn't matter. That means
All right. But
That's not what we were talking
this
about.
is awful take. Awful
Yeah.
take.
That's
Leave
not
all
what
this
we were
in.
talking about.
The people need to hear this.
I'm just defending the little
I
guys.
just realized I'm a very biased basketball watcher. You know what I'm saying?
Why is it?
cool.
Just because
I'm
the
a-
Wizards?
I'm a Heat
like
lifer.
I used to like my
You
pop
grew up
used-
on what you grew up on. Yeah.
Like I just used to watch it. So
All this started. You said that
Worst
the
take on the
Wizards,
podcast.
I'm gonna
Wizards
have
have
to
a
rewatch
better
this.
franchise than the Suns, which is outrageous.
No, I never said that. I never said that. That's out of context.
We'll run the
completely.
tape back. Don't worry about it.
We're gonna have a vote right now. What's the most outrageous take on this podcast?
Yeah.
Gavin's take with the Wizards or Kanai Brick saying it's a better step back than Harden? Obviously, Kanai
Wait,
Brick.
can I said that?
Yes.
Good for him. Good for him.
Obviously,
man.
Kanai's
All
been
right.
killing it lately.
yeah, I aspire to have a confidence like
Yes. Yes.
Obviously, Kanai
A
Brick's been
little
killing-
bit of delusion.
Yeah,
This much.
You too.
All right. Magic Johnson. Just remember that.
he's
We're
been
going.
on that. I don't think. I think this is my problem. We've always talked about it. I don't think you're delusional. I think you're confident.
For sure.
You know, obviously, there's days where you don't have your best outing with shooting. Like you can't. No basketball player can go to practice and shoot well every single practice. It's impossible.
I mean, Curry probably.
He's had bad
Curry has
practices.
bad shooting day.
Yeah, that's
I mean,
glaze.
for him. For
The
him.
fact that-
no, like think about it. Like if you would let him shoot, like it just some people will just make it harder for him to shoot. He doesn't have bad shooting days. I'm
All right,
pretty
all right,
convinced.
all right. That's
Like
your take.
some people like I'm not, I don't even mean to glaze. Like players like that, like Duncan Robinson, like you have to make it hard for him, so
Yes.
he misses.
I
And
mean-
that's when he didn't make a super contested, extremely hard three. Yeah, that's a bad shooting.
I mean, to be fair, no offense to Justin, but I don't think it's fair to compare Stephen Curry to Justin when it
Yeah, I'm
comes
not
to
there
their
yet.
practices.
Well, I'm just saying.
That's not what you tried to do.
You had a bad take too. It's okay. You said no, but not like everybody has a bad shooting. I'm just
I mean,
saying.
I'm sure Curry at some point in his career.
Yeah, he doesn't
had
just
bad
shoot
practices.
amazing every
He
day.
didn't-
Like,
yeah,
that's
he wasn't
not
5
true.
years old waking up just straining
Yeah,
threes from half court.
Yeah.
But no, a good example I'll bring. Obviously, one of the greatest 3-point shooters of all time, Klay Thompson, had awful performance in the playoffs last
Game
season.
6.
Yeah, so I mean, that's a great example there. But what I was saying about trying to say get out with Justin is, you're the kind of player, even if you have a bad shooting day, you still have confidence in yourself.
Absolutely.
And
as you
I
should.
think that's, I don't think it's delusion. I just think it's confidence. And
What do you
Gavin-
have to say, Gavin? What do you have to
No,
say,
I'm
Gavin?
only smiling because Cass. I'm only smiling
Okay.
'cause Cass.
All right. All right.
But-
You're the one that brought up delusion.
You know what? Next topic. Let's
Yeah, let's keep it rolling.
come on. It's 10:05. We got 7:30.
It's 10:05.
10:05.
Cavs are the fourth team in NBA history to start 15-0. We've seen it done by the Houston Rockets in 94. We've seen it done by the Washington Capitals in 1949, who are now the Houston Rockets. It's technically done twice. Obviously, the 2016 Warriors, arguably the greatest team in NBA history. We've seen that happen. And the next team they play is the Celtics, who are obviously a big contender when it comes to the NBA. So do you think that 15-0 is their last game of undefeated, and do you think they're going to lose?
Who
to
are
the
they playing,
Celtics?
Boston
The
next?
Celtics.
They're
yeah.
playing
at Boston.
At Boston.
At TD Garden.
Yeah.
It's going to be a packed game.
Well, Boston's 11-3 right now, second in the East.
They recently lost to Atlanta with no Trae Young,
game
correct?
winner.
Yeah,
Yeah, game
Where are they
winner.
playing?
And two of their losses, I believe they play tomorrow.
I have to watch it.
And the two of their losses were at home against the Warriors and the Pacers.
Mhm.
Both crazy close games. But
It's a toss-up.
I don't know.
Two good teams.
I don't know. I mean,
Do we have any injury reports?
Yeah, I was gonna say
question was Karis LeVert averaging 12, 3, and 5 assists
He's a
off the
good
bench
player.
for them.
I think
He's
he's
a really good
expected
player.
to play though. So
Yeah.
it's
Isaac Okoro, Dean Wade, the other D Wade, and Max Strus has been out like the whole season so far. So
I mean, yeah, for me personally, I think it's done. I think, this is their hardest game until we get to December when they play Boston again. So I think that if
it
they
ends
don't,
now.
it has to end. But I mean, I said it was
When
going
was their last game?
Oh, yeah, he was on my tip of my tongue. I forgot. I just got the notification. Jazz, I think. Utah?
But when was it?
It
Yesterday.
was-
It was yesterday, right? They played yesterday, right?
They got like 48 hours.
They played the Hornets yesterday. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Beat the Hornets by 14.
Okay, but it's still East Coast. So
Yeah, so that's a big factor. Yeah, you're right about traveling. It's
I
not
think
much
I think the
travel.
Cavs will win just because Mir's a Celtics fan. So that's the only reason.
Yeah, I'm a Heat fan, so Celtics are going down. I'm sorry. Nah, but I mean, the Cavs got momentum. They're defending well, playing well.
if I would have
so-
to bet, which I don't do, I would bet on Celtics.
to win,
Yeah.
All right, so we got
It's a
Celtics
safer
with me,
bet. It's a
Celtics
safer
with
bet.
you.
It's just like if you have
Cavs
to put
and
money.
Cavs.
Cavs
Gotta
and Cavs.
split.
All right, we got to split.
What you got, Jacob?
Cavs and Celtics.
Probably Celtics.
Ah,
There we
boo.
go. Let's go.
I just want to call timeout. Me and you, we just agreed on something.
Well, I said it first. You agreed with me, so
It's pretty good though. Baby steps. Baby
we're
steps.
locked in. We're locked in. We're locked in. All right.
Well,
No.
Oh, okay. So now with these teams, the undefeated teams, the 4 teams we have, where do they rank on the list? I mean, obviously, I can assume that the Washington Capitals are going to be last because
no. I actually looked them up. They're first on my list.
really, 1949 basketball team
Yes,
is
yes.
first.
Elaborate.
Red Auerbach, head coach of them, won 6
Terrible
or
take.
7.
Another terrible
No,
take. I don't even want to listen.
No,
to that.
Braun.
Say what you
He won 6 chips, 7
Okay.
chips with the Celtics.
Okay.
Great.
So it's Auerbach. So
Okay, and
I hate to say it, but I mean, you put Albany against any team from the 1949s. If you had a time machine, we'd kill them.
if Red Auerbach's coaching them,
Yeah, I
They're
mean,
dribbling the
so-
ball like this.
I'm just trying to
But,
respect
they
the game. I'm just trying to respect.
they dribbling like that because those were the rules. If you cradle it, it's gonna be a carry. So that's not the fair. But like why I think we would win is just simply because they had to have a regular job to pay for for their lives.
Yes.
So
The athleticism,
I mean,
think could be a.
I think it's a big difference. And I think because
I was looking at the studies. It's not really that big of a difference. It's more how we use it.
Exactly,
And,
that's the difference.
and like the fact that we can work like on our bodies and stuff like lifting weights.
They also didn't have Ibn. They didn't have
they-
Ibn.
yeah,
So
they didn't. Shout
and
out
they
my boy
didn't shoot
Ibn.
threes.
that's the thing I was going
Like
to
it's
say.
completely different rules. So like
is
Nah,
I would still put them as a
they
5
did
though.
kill it
Yeah,
just
because
Red
I know-
Auerbach though. Red Auerbach.
I like the pull though. That was good.
Yeah.
That was good.
good pull, terrible
But
take.
don't
Bad
like
take.
it
Yeah,
at
Just
good
trying to
pull,
respect
bad
the game.
take.
Just trying to respect the game.
And I love that. Last
At least
place.
it's consistent. Every take
Yeah.
is absolutely awful.
Yeah, you're just bad all around.
You know, I'm happy you two found each other. It's good. It's good.
I'm not biased. I keep it real. I've been
But number
keeping
one's
it real.
definitely 2016 Warriors. Stamped.
Agreed.
Mhm.
I mean, that team was
super team.
unfair.
Yeah.
It should have been that. In my opinion, the KD move should have been vetoed by Adam Silver.
Yeah, they vetoed such a like weird trade.
Like
Vetoed the
David
63 one.
Stern would have vetoed it completely.
Oh, yeah,
He
we
vetoed
can't.
so many trades back in the 2010s, or whenever through his tenure. So I think okay. So we have 2016 at the 1. We have the Capitals at the 5. Now at the 4, who gets 2 and who gets 3 here?
I'm looking now. I mean, I'm looking at the roster from the 94 Rockets.
94 Rockets were damn good.
Yeah. I mean, Kenny Smith.
Kenny the
Hakeem, of
Jet.
course.
That was with the prime
Hakeem, of course.
But Mike wasn't playing that year, wasn't he?
I think it was
1994.
baseball. Yeah.
That was his off year.
His fiasco.
I'll put the Rockets on there.
Obviously, they're on the list, but what number?
Oh, 2.
2. All right.
2.
All right.
Cavs
You know
up
what? I think so because I might be called an unk for this, but I do think the 90s were a tougher era to play in. Just because, at this point, I think there's a lot more luck in basketball now because, teams just shoot themselves out of the game,
No, it's not like I'm putting them over only because they are already proven. Like we can look back and they already won.
Well, how did they finish the season?
Yeah.
They won 2 chips.
Well, I'm saying the 94 team specifically.
Wasn't that a chip
I'm pretty sure 94 and 95, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
And later Jordan came back 96.
I don't know when the championship.
I think Jordan came back like 95.
Yeah, but I don't know who won in 94.
I'm pretty sure that.
The Rockets? Let me see.
Yeah, they won the 94 championship.
Okay, yeah, so they already, it's kind of hard to put the Cavs on a championship winning team.
And was the next one against Miami? Orlando, or was it this one against Orlando?
They're the 94 championship?
Or 95 to 95.
All right, so we have a 3-way consensus here because obviously you have different with the number 1 spot.
I understand where you guys are coming from, though.
But
Fair.
I mean, I think
I don't see where you are coming from.
Yeah, we don't see.
It's Red Auerbach, though.
It doesn't matter.
To be fair, we did kind of break our own rule because I'm pretty sure the Washington Capitals won the championship 49. So the championship rule applied besides that team, just because
They also didn't play that many games.
Yeah,
I would say.
Well, that makes it harder.
they're a bit of an
Actually,
athlete.
it makes it harder
it's
to win
the same
15
with
in a
the-
row because you have less opportunity to win 15 games.
Sure.
But yeah, so we have a consensus. Number 1 is the Warriors. Number 2 is the Rockets in 94. Number 3 is the Cavs. And number 4 is the Washington Capitals. And that is final. Blind rank.
Right.
We are blind ranking international players. That is the episode for today.
I like it. It's 5, so he's going to get 5 players. We put them in order, any order, you know what I'm saying? And then we'll see if we got a good list at the end. So, okay, let's see.
First player we have here is the free throw merchant himself, Joel Embiid.
Why you put him as the first option?
Funny enough.
4.
Wow.
4. I'm sorry, Joel. You're a star when you're healthy, but right now I just don't know. I love you, Joel, even though I'm a Heat fan.
Very interesting, by the way.
Are they current players only?
Yeah, our client.
Oh, okay. No. Yeah, 4.
Okay. Very interesting, by the way, though. Jacob somehow made his NBA comparison for Justin was Joel Embiid.
I appreciate
I don't see
That's
it.
crazy.
I don't
That's
see it.
insane. That is insane.
I think Joel Embiid is Sully. That's my opinion.
Joel. No,
I think so.
I think Sully's more Clint Capella because he's not really a scoring big. He's more of like a defensive minded. Like I wouldn't say defensive minded. He's not a great shot. He's not like.
Well, I just mean like efficiency at the basket.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
I'm talking about current day Joel Embiid. I'm not talking about Joel Embiid 5 years ago.
Okay.
But yeah, I don't see your comparison because there's no way Joel Embiid can move like you in the post.
Yeah, he's
way
not
a
lot bigger than he's like a house. But
I would say Zach
shout
Randolph.
out to the realist.
Zach Randolph.
Zach Randolph.
Like
okay.
prime Zach Randolph.
I'm
Zach
not
Randolph,
a big
hell of
man,
a
so
player.
being compared to a big man.
Well, you
hurts
played
my-
center last game, which I was
I'm
surprised
gonna have to
about.
play
I'm gonna be
center
honest with
most
you.
games, honestly.
You know what I want to
kinda
say, but I'm not going to
say
say
it.
it.
I'm
what
not
I'm
listening.
saying-
No one's listening to you.
I don't mean
You can't stop talking like this.
Oh,
You
my
gotta
bad.
talk like
Yeah, I don't mean to be disrespectful. I'm just saying like how like okay in my head I'm a point guard. Okay, am I playing a point guard? I'm not. Okay, all I do is set a screen and pick and pop, and later go get the board of the rebound. Okay, but what I'm saying is with, like your role at the team right now, like from like last 2 games, that's what we were doing. You know what I'm saying? But yeah. So that didn't mean
For sure.
disrespectful.
Next player.
Yeah, sorry.
fine.
I didn't expect that to go like that.
Yeah.
Next one we have here is the king of the 6, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Do you disagree? Shea? He's not number 1?
3.
3?
Yeah.
That's pretty crazy.
This is current players?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
3.
Hell yeah.
Top 5 in the league right now, international players. Shea is number 3.
Yeah.
You better hope for Jokic, Giannis next.
Like, oh my.
All right, you have,
Yeah, it's like I'm waiting.
That's
for
what
the-
you're praying for, but if he
Yeah.
gives you, all right, go ahead.
Next, all right. Next
Easy
we
to-
have on the list is Domantas Sabonis.
Ah, shit, 5. Well, I have Shy at 3. Like I'm my
This is your
cooked.
list. This
My
is
list cooked.
people. You. This is the list.
My list cooked. Just
You're cooked.
give me
Sabonis at 5.
yeah.
You could. Sabonis.
Give me Giannis and Nikola Jokic.
No.
Your list isn't that bad.
You're gonna get.
I mean, I'm just hoping he gonna.
What's the
be
guy from
best player.
Memphis? Yuki. Yeah, we're gonna get Yuki out here as number 1. Oh my god.
All right.
Maybe I should make a second list. Froze list.
That's
Yeah,
bold.
we can-
First time he's done that.
First time I've ever.
He does not
Bro,
want to
I
be
can't-
associated with Kacper.
I cannot
He
agree with
already
this.
knows who's gonna be on those.
This is blasphemy. No, I don't know. He doesn't tell me the games. This is purely
That's the point.
yeah. Joel's 4. Shea is 1. I'll put Sabonis at. I'll put him at 2. I'm comfortable with him at 2.
You're getting Sabonis over Joel?
Absolutely, right now, yeah.
Okay, yeah.
Joel doesn't even play. Sabonis is a
Fair.
walking double-double.
That's fair.
Oh, you agree? Thanks, Gavin. Appreciate it. It means a lot.
I know you like my validation. You know.
My guy, yo.
All right.
God.
Next player we have on the list is the King of Israel, Danny Avdia. Avdia. Sorry.
He's a good player.
For sure.
Did you say 6? Someone say 6? That's crazy. It's crazy.
Go ahead, brother. 1 or 2.
Finish it off. I wanted to do a different country for each person.
So,
I'm going to go with the country because there's 2 players that could be when I say this country.
Right.
Country is Germany.
Okay. Dennis Schroeder.
Sure.
There it is, Dennis Schroeder.
Yeah, I mean,
Kind of did yourself in here, Kaz.
I was
you-
just hoping he's gonna go with the.
that's
better
the mistake.
I didn't
You
Well,
expect
can't
you already
hope.
played it.
You gotta.
You already played the game.
Danny was a
well,
curveball.
To be fair, you did better than him and DeMar.
Yeah, we were cooked.
DeMar did so bad that he lost the ability to speak English. That's how bad it was. He was making inaudible noises when he found
It's
out
okay.
that
I've
KCP,
never been able to speak English, so it's fine.
So
which
we
is
got Casper's list: Dennis Schroeder, Danny Advita, Shea, Joel, Sabonis. Froze list: Shea, Sabonis, Schroeder, Joel, and Danny.
I think you both lost this, but I think you did better. than
I'd
him.
change Joel and Schroeder and keep it there.
Yeah, I'm gonna be honest.
Like Joel 3, Schroeder 4.
Yeah, Justin.
I would change Danny as well. Would you have
You
him
put
up?
Schroeder 5?
No, wait. I thought you had Embiid at 4.
Yeah.
I do. I
you
changed him
had-
to
you
3.
had Danny at 5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's actually a pretty good list.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I think Schroeder ruined it for you.
Well, you put Schroeder at 3?
No, I'm saying Embiid should be higher.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's,
All right, last game. This is a fun one. All right, so for this game, I will be naming NBA players, and you have to guess what country they are from.
Oh wow.
Interesting.
Got it? Like to switch it up a bit. First one we have
join
is
this, Gavin. You join this, Gavin. Go ahead.
yeah, because he sucks at these kind of games.
Yeah, these guessing stuff. Yeah.
He's not good at guessing. Hakeem Olajuwon. Very easy to start off.
Is that a gimme?
Well, I mean, just like big name, kind of. but-
I don't know. I have no clue.
Very helpful, Gavin.
Doing my
Very
best.
helpful. Added him on for nothing. He's from Africa.
Yeah, Cameroon.
Yeah, I don't know
Nigeria.
where in Africa.
That's not gonna count. He's from
You said
Africa.
country.
That's
Well,
not a country.
continent. It's a
Yo,
continent.
clip
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, cut it. Yeah.
I would say
Head
like
scratch on that
Cameroon or
one.
Nigeria, but I'm not sure. But it could be something. else.
Cameroon,
I would say Nigeria.
Nigeria.
There you go.
There you
A
go.
save from Kacper there. He
Good
is
play, brother.
Nigerian. Next one we have here is the maker of thons, Thon Maker.
Yeah, I don't know where Thon Maker was born.
South Sudan.
Oh, what? This is insane.
You knew that?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
what a
played
boy.
He looks
played
like
the
a person
Olympics.
from South Sudan.
We gotta cut
I don't know what
out.
that means. But next
I had it.
next player.
I had a team. No. Okay, so I'm tell. When I was playing in Rome, I had a teammate, Dude Mabor Biar, and he told me, like, he literally told me that he can recognize people from South Sudan by the like how tall they are and like their kind of like their head shape. So that's why I
Head
was like,
shape is
no,
Yeah, he
that's
does
what
have
literally
a
he said.
unique head shape.
That's what
Yeah.
he said.
No, but I just think it's
I
funny.
don't, look
because
at look
it's
at Tom Maker and like maybe you're gonna know them.
Yeah.
but,
No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah,
well,
don't
I
mean
think
to
the hard
be-
part about it is maybe you can guess if they're like, or like they have some heritage from South Sudan, but it's
Yeah.
hard to know that they're born in South Sudan without
Yeah.
knowing for a fact. Now, but you know what? He's saving you guys.
Yeah, he's
You guys are
absolutely-
useless, and this guy's gonna have to take you to the promised land. Next one we have here's a fun one. Dwight Powell.
Is he Canadian?
There we go.
Yeah.
Get him
I
on
was
the
about to say,
board.
I'm ready.
This is, I think, the easiest one on the list. Dario Saric.
Serbian.
Okay, what do you say?
I didn't say anything.
Well, you only get one list. I
Crickets.
can't
I
say
got
it's
no
right.
clue. Yeah.
We're going with Serbia.
Nope. He is Croatian.
Oh my
Croatian.
I wouldn't have guessed that.
He knew it.
Yeah.
I thought I knew it, but he also played for the Sun. Son of
I don't know why.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Next one we have here, last
like,
one.
they would actually upset. So like, if you would call a Serbian Croatian or Croatian Serbian, they would be actually upset
Well-
because they used to be fighting for so long.
Hate to say it, but I'm gonna send this to Dario Saric, and he's gonna see that you thought he was Serbian.
Yeah, well, what I'm saying. Is that
But yeah,
pretty big mix up actually.
Yeah, actually, we bring that up. Yeah, it's actually insane because I used to work with someone over the summer who's Montenegrin, and the battles they have in that Balkan region is it's nuts. They hate each other. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I remember I was in a tournament in Bosnia, and like the bullet holes and balconies. That was wild.
But I don't know many more like languages here, but I'm just gonna throw some out. I do know how to speak a little Balkan here. I will say Kakosi, you know, Kakosi. Kakosi.
That sounded like
We're gonna put subtitles for the translation.
There we go.
All right.
Connie's taught me a few things about Turkish.
Yeah, we don't want to hear that.
yeah, we don't.
Like I can't. Not on here. I cannot.
Last one here. Legend. Very big journeyman. Obviously, he's not a legend in the individual achievements, but what he's done with the teams he's been on, and it's Serge Ibaka.
Serge.
I was a Congo.
There we go.
Yeah.
Really? The
Finishing off
Congo?
Strong.
Yeah.
He is from the Congo.
Shout out to the Congo.
4 for
Batu.
5.
Thank you so much, guys. That was Just Talks. That was your host, Kacper Klaczek. We're going to see you guys another time next week on Spotify and YouTube. Thank you.
Ooh, the link! The link!